I have a message from your person, an urgent reading meant for you alone. Take a moment, sit comfortably, loosen your shoulders, and breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body settle as if it's listening for something it has been waiting for without even realizing it. This message is designed to be read aloud or listened to with about 15 minutes of focused attention. Let it wash over you gradually, like the first heavy rain after a long drought, cleansing, sudden and undeniable. You asked for clarity, for something raw, shocking, and immediate. Here it is. Read it intentionally, letting each line land fully. Keep a small notebook nearby because something here may spark a memory, feeling, or action you'll want to record. The message is knocking at the door of your heart. It's unexpected, direct, and intense. This is not a casual note of, "Hey, how are you?" It lands like a stone thrown into a still pond. You'll notice ripples spreading outward. Your body might respond before your mind fully registers it. Your throat may tighten, your stomach may flip, or a sudden memory may ignite, sharp and undeniable. A hidden truth resides within the emotion here. The feeling is urgent, intense, and impossible to ignore. The reality it carries is surprising, even startling. Its purpose is to challenge the foundation of what you believed you knew. Before I share the content, understand this: the shock you feel comes not just from the words, but from the weight of time, the years, the silences, the things neither of you dared to express. It's the private spaces of your connection, the unspoken hopes, the doors you've both locked against one another. Expectations have been quietly accumulating like unread letters. This message will pry one of those doors open. It is blunt, honest, and unfiltered. Your person is saying, without embellishment, "I've changed, and I'm terrified of losing you, but I haven't known how to show it." Their urgency comes from seeing the consequences of waiting too long. They stand at the edge of a decision, possibly already made, that deeply affects you. That's why the impact feels immediate. Two truths will strike you simultaneously. First, you are not as distant from their heart as you imagined. Second, you are farther removed from their actions than your hopes anticipated. This collision between reality and desire can unsettle you. The tone of this message is searching, apologetic, and fully awake, like someone who has spent sleepless nights rewriting their life in their mind, finally unable to stay silent. It is raw, urgent, and cannot be ignored. Now, listen carefully. There are 3 urgent truths embedded in this message. The first is that your person is at a crossroads. Not because they want to leave, but because they fear losing you through inaction. Time, habits, small behaviors, pride, and external influences have quietly reshaped the landscape of your relationship. The urgency is palpable because the cost of waiting is becoming unbearable. They see the potential loss, and this realization demands action. The message lands now because hesitation is no longer sustainable. They are either preparing to step forward or retreat. This choice will fundamentally change the relationship. You will recognize the signs after this moment. More attempts to communicate. Messages longer than usual, often sent late at night. Sudden invitations to meet, or the awkward vulnerability of confessions once hidden. Conversely, abrupt silence. A deliberate pause as they summon the courage or strength to become the person they believe you deserve. Every action after this point carries significance. Every word holds weight. Their heart and intentions are now transparent. Whether through movement or quiet reflection, pay attention. This is the moment when the truth surfaces and cannot be ignored. The second truth is the apology. It is real, heartfelt, and incomplete. They will say, "I'm sorry," and mean it. Yet the apology is only the beginning. Beneath it lies a tangle of promises, hopes, and patterns they don't yet know how to break. They are not asking you to fix them, they are asking you to witness the first step of change. The urgency is in their need to know whether you will meet them there, whether your response will be a bridge or a boundary. You'll recognize sincerity not in perfection but in action. Small, consistent, uncomfortable, and repeated efforts to repair what has been strained. The third truth is the secret they have guarded, the one explaining the distance you felt. It is not what your mind may suspect. There is no betrayal, no hidden lover, no calculated choice to leave you behind. Often the truth is quieter, subtler, and more complicated. It may involve fears, shame, unresolved struggles, or an inner battle you could not see. This hidden element explains the hesitation, the withdrawal, and the silence. The shock is that what has seemed distant, cold, or unclear was never about rejection. It was about self-preservation, confusion, or fear. Understanding this truth reframes everything. It invites compassion, empathy, and a new perspective on the connection between you. This message is a turning point. It is meant to be felt, not simply understood. It requires your presence, your awareness, and your willingness to witness vulnerability without judgment. The ripples it creates will reach far beyond this moment. The emotions, the facts, and the hidden truths are all part of a larger conversation your hearts have been avoiding. This is the call to listen, reflect, and respond intentionally. Whether it leads to closeness, understanding, or necessary change, this moment marks the arrival of honesty that cannot be ignored. Pay attention. It matters more than you realize. When expressing your needs, keep it brief and precise. One sentence is enough. For example, I need clarity about what happened and how we move forward. Avoid overwhelming them with long lists of grievances or recounting the past in detail. Your goal is to create a space where honesty, listening, and intention can take root. Timing, containment, and clarity allow both of you to step fully into this difficult but essential conversation. For instance, you might say, I need honesty for the next 30 minutes. Keep it simple. This is not the time for a marathon of complaints or cataloging every disappointment, every unspoken slight, and every old misunderstanding. Those belong to later conversations when both of you have a map of you are, what you need, and what you hope to rebuild. Right now, focus on the immediate moment. Watch for small, consistent actions. Words alone are not enough. Apologies are only the doorway. Actions are proof. They show intention, commitment, and willingness to change. Observe what they do, not just what they say. The first month after this kind of message is a test window, not a final judgment. It is a time to observe patterns and see whether they are stepping into accountability. Are they showing up, even imperfectly? Are they uncomfortable yet persistent? This window is a mirror reflecting the seriousness of their desire to repair, not a moment for instant absolution or full reconciliation. Decide your boundaries beforehand. Before entering this conversation, know what you will accept and what you will not. Boundaries are not punishments or ultimatums. They are statements of truth about what keeps you safe and protects your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Words can be powerful tools in this space if used intentionally. You might say, I heard you. Tell me the whole thing, or thank you for telling me what changed. I want honesty. Keep your statement short, precise, and disarming. Do not let the conversation become about explanations that save face. Say calmly, if you're staying, I need to see proof in what you do every week. I will listen, but I won't be the one who fixes this alone. Tone matters more than volume. Calmness conveys strength, steadiness, and clarity. Your voice is your anchor. It keeps you grounded even as emotions rise around you. Take a moment to visualize. Close your eyes and picture a door between you and the other person. For a long time, this door has been like a jar, neither fully closed nor fully open. Their message is a hand on the other side knocking urgently. You feel it before you see it. Stand at the threshold and notice the cool air of possibility brushing against you. You decide whether to open the door wide, open it slowly, or keep it cracked while you watch. Observe the hand. Is it steady? Is it trembling? These small details reveal the truth of intention more than words ever could. What if they're not brave enough yet? Sometimes urgent messages arrive, shaking you to the core, and then silence follows. People often hesitate to take action when they want change, but fear the consequences of trying. If this occurs, remember the message still holds value. It confirms that the door exists. You do not need to wait for their courage to decide your next steps. Move forward in your life while keeping the door in your awareness. You can stay open-minded without being available constantly. You can hold space without sacrificing yourself. Life goes on even as the possibility of reconnection remains, waiting for them to match urgency with action. If they return, insist on clarity. Stand firm. Ask calmly, "You said this and then disappeared. What happened?" But maintain your boundaries. Request explanation, accountability, and a concrete plan for moving forward. Be prepared. Seeking clarity can reveal truths that may hurt, unsettle, or even shock you. Others' vulnerability is often messy. Sometimes it brings confessions that stir emotions or awaken fears you hadn't fully acknowledged. Mentally prepare to receive what they might share. Remember, the goal is not punishment, but understanding, seeing the situation clearly, and deciding whether to move forward together or walk away to protect your life and heart. The truths you discover may be difficult. They might have been in a season of grief or depression, causing them to withdraw emotionally. Practical life circumstances, like job relocation, family responsibilities, or legal obligations, could also affect the relationship timeline. They may have struggled with attention or attraction to someone else, not necessarily betrayal, but temptation or brief reconsideration that left them confused. Or perhaps past patterns from family, childhood, or previous relationships made them pull back to avoid harm. These challenges can be addressed, but only with time, transparency, and sometimes outside support. Decide honestly if you are willing to participate in that process. If you choose to move forward together, create a practical 30-day plan. Structure and clarity build trust faster than vague promises. Weekly check-ins of 15-30 minutes allow both of you to speak openly without interruption or distraction. Identify one small, consistent action that demonstrates real change. Something simple yet meaningful, like showing up on time, sharing a calendar, attending counseling, or letting go of a harmful habit. Agree on a safety phrase, a short sentence either of you can use when triggered, such as, "I'm overwhelmed. Can we pause?" Finally, revisit the state of the relationship after 30 days and again after 90. True commitment is shown in repetition and steady steps, not in dramatic declarations. If instead you choose to walk away, understand this: the urgent message still served its purpose. It revealed truth, demanded reflection, and provided essential information about your connection. Walking away is not failure. It is a conscious choice to protect your future self. If this is your path, act with intention and closure. Make one calm statement without expecting to reopen the discussion. Remove reminders that pull you back into past pain. Allow yourself to grieve the version of the relationship you had hoped for, as grief is a necessary process for healing and perspective. Approach your response with both care and truth. The message may shock you because it forces a choice. Your person has removed the mask of distance and revealed fear, regret, and a desperate desire for connection. That revelation is messy. It is human. Your response must honor both the truth and the vulnerability of the moment. You can respond with care while maintaining your boundaries. You can acknowledge their vulnerability while remaining rooted in your reality. This is the dance of honest connection, where hearts meet without losing themselves, where love and accountability coexist, and where you emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the life you are building. Relationships are rarely simple, and the moments that shake us most are often those where truth collides with fear. When someone you care about withdraws, when messages come late or not at all, or when distance grows without explanation, it triggers a deep part of us that asks, "What did I do wrong? Or am I not enough?" The truth is, often it's not about you. People withdraw for reasons that may never fully make sense until they feel safe enough to share them. It could be fear, grief, exhaustion, past wounds, or internal battles they cannot reveal until the moment is urgent. These moments of withdrawal are not necessarily betrayals. They are signs of human vulnerability, of someone wrestling with themselves, and their actions ripple outward, touching you in ways that hurt because you care. When an urgent message arrives, the impact is felt not just from the words themselves, but from the weight of time, silence, and unspoken truth. It lands in your body before your mind can fully process it, a flip in the stomach, a catch in the throat, a sudden rush of memory or longing. This is the nature of raw honesty. It unsettles, disrupts, and opens doors that have been quietly closed. The combination of emotion and fact can be jarring, but it also clarifies what was previously unclear. Suddenly, distance is explained, hesitation makes sense, and patterns that once confused you become understandable. Holding space for this message requires balance. You must remain tender but truthful, open yet grounded. Tenderness does not erase pain, and truth does not diminish care. Both are necessary to respond without losing yourself. Knowing your boundaries is essential. Boundaries are not punishment, they are the language of self-respect. They communicate what keeps you emotionally safe while allowing the other person to show their commitment in tangible ways. Consistency matters more than grand gestures. Small, repeated actions over time reveal real change far more than a dramatic apology or a single moment of vulnerability. When engaging with someone who has revealed a hidden struggle or confessed a painful truth, clarity is essential. Ask direct questions, seek understanding, and require a plan for moving forward. Listen carefully, but be prepared for revelations that bruise. People carry secrets, not necessarily of betrayal, but of fear, grief, or personal struggle. These truths may be messy, uncomfortable, or unexpected. They may show that distance was not about rejection, but self-preservation, fear of repeating patterns, or internal battles. These issues can only be resolved with time, transparency, and often outside support. It is your choice whether to participate in that process or protect yourself by stepping away. Moving forward, whether you choose to rebuild or walk away, intentionality is key. If you stay, structure the process with clear time-bound steps, weekly check-ins, small actionable commitments, and pre-agreed safety phrases for when emotions rise. If you leave, do so with awareness that the message has served its purpose. Grieve the version of the relationship you hoped for and honor yourself for recognizing the truth and protecting your future. Walking away is not failure, it is self-respect. Grief can become a bridge to growth, transforming pain into understanding and inner strength. Ultimately, moments of urgency, sudden realizations, and the vulnerability shown are part of being human. They are messy, complicated, and imperfect. Yet they are also opportunities to witness truth, to practice patience, to approach others with both kindness and accountability, and to engage in life and relationships with greater awareness. Holding both truth and tenderness allows you to remain compassionate without compromising yourself. It lets you see clearly, make wise choices, and navigate love, boundaries, and connection in a way that is sustainable, honest, and fully alive. At their core, relationships are mirrors. They reflect not only the person in front of you, but also your own fears, hopes, and boundaries. When someone you care about withdraws, it can trigger echoes of past wounds, fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, and the tension between hope and reality. It is easy to mistake distance for rejection, but often the truth lies beneath layers of internal struggle. People retreat for reasons that feel urgent to them, but are invisible to you. A message, once delivered, carries the weight of hidden effort, regret, and courage. It reveals what has been kept quiet and forces a reckoning, a confrontation with both their truth and yours. The body senses truth before the mind can process it. When an urgent confession arrives, you may feel it physically, a tightness in the chest, a flutter in the stomach, a lump in the throat. These are natural signals that something important is occurring at a deep level. Your mind may try to rationalize or dismiss it, but the heart cannot lie. The power of such a message is not only in its content, but in the emotional resonance it carries. It is raw, unpolished, and real, demanding that you respond with intention rather than reaction. Every step of this process teaches discernment, courage, and self-respect. It guides you to hold vulnerability without losing yourself, to witness fear without absorbing it, and to respond with integrity while staying open to love. Urgent messages remind us that relationships are living entities shaped by action, honesty, and emotional courage. They are invitations to awaken, to see clearly, feel fully, and engage consciously. Your heart is capable of holding both tenderness and truth, and your choices in these moments shape not only the relationship, but also the strength and clarity with which you navigate life. Human connections are fragile yet resilient. When someone steps out of silence with urgency, it is an invitation to witness the complexity of their heart and your own. The shock you feel is not just about what is said, but also about all the moments leading up to it, the quiet doubts, the unspoken assumptions, and the distance that quietly grew over time. Every layer of silence and each choice not to speak carries meaning. When honesty finally arrives, it carries weight beyond words. Your body may sense it first, with tightness in the chest, a rush of emotion, or subtle unease. This is your intuition signaling that something profound is being offered, demanding attention. The courage required to reveal hidden struggles should never be underestimated. They may have carried shame, fear, or grief alone for years, withdrawing to protect you while facing challenges too heavy to share. This is human. While their actions may have caused pain, they also reveal vulnerability and a desire to reconnect. Receiving this message calls for patience, steadiness, and intentionality. You are asked to hold their vulnerability without absorbing it, to witness truth without collapsing, and to respond with clarity while maintaining tenderness. Boundaries act as the framework that makes this possible, allowing you to remain compassionate while safeguarding your emotional well-being. Boundaries define what you will accept, what you will observe, and what you will not tolerate. They are statements of self-respect and clarity. Without boundaries, vulnerability can feel overwhelming, and even honest intentions may be misread or taken for granted. A well-placed boundary creates space for honesty to be fully expressed, for actions to match words, and for both parties to see clearly whether the relationship can thrive. Accountability is the language of repair. Words alone cannot restore trust. Action is required. Small repeated steps demonstrate genuine commitment. Showing up, communicating honestly, eliminating destructive habits, or attending counseling are tangible evidence of intention. Consistency is more powerful than grand gestures. Weekly check-ins, brief conversations, and clear agreements about expectations create structure, provide clarity, and reduce miscommunication. A pre-agreed pause phrase used when emotions rise allows both people to step back without causing harm. This framework enables growth to occur safely. giving honesty the space it needs to translate into action. Even when the message feels urgent, the choice is yours. To engage, to observe, or to step away is not a test of morality, it is an act of discernment. Walking away does not mean failure. It means you are protecting your future self, honoring your boundaries, and refusing to repeat patterns of harm. Clean closure, intentional separation from reminders, and grieving the relationship you imagined are acts of strength, not weakness. Grief is part of growth. It is the space where lessons take root and where self-respect is cultivated. Tenderness and truth must coexist. One without the other is incomplete. Tenderness without truth risks self-deception. Truth without tenderness risks rigidity. Holding both allows you to respond to vulnerability without losing your center. It enables connection without surrendering your autonomy. It allows you to witness the human complexity of someone else while remaining fully present with yourself. This balance is the essence of sustainable, meaningful relationships. It is messy, imperfect, and profoundly human. Yet it is also the path to authentic love, mutual respect, and lasting trust. Urgent messages are invitations, not ultimatums. They reveal hidden fears, desires, regrets, and hopes. They may shock, unsettle, or awaken dormant emotion. They remind you that relationships are living, evolving entities shaped by courage, honesty, and action. Respond with awareness. Listen fully. Feel deeply. Ask for clarity. Watch for consistency. Protect yourself. Engage intentionally. Whether you choose to rebuild, repair, or step away, the lessons found in urgency shape your ability to navigate human connection with wisdom, compassion, and resilience. Every choice matters. Every boundary, every question, every pause, every action is a step toward clarity. Every moment of tenderness is an acknowledgement of humanity. Every embrace of truth is a reclaiming of personal power. Relationships are not static. They are alive, breathing, and responsive. In the face of urgency, shock, and revelation, you are called to engage fully with courage, compassion, discernment, and awareness. Your heart can hold complexity. Your mind can see clearly. Your choices will shape not only this relationship, but also the strength, clarity, and authenticity with which you move through every connection in your life. Tenderness will not erase the hurt. It cannot magically remove pain, frustration, or disappointment you may have felt in this relationship. But tenderness allows you to hold space for both yourself and the other person without judgment, without collapsing under the weight of emotion. It gives your heart room to breathe, feel, and acknowledge the messy human truth of what has occurred. Truth does not destroy tenderness. Being honest with yourself, your boundaries, and your expectations does not lessen compassion. In fact, truth strengthens tenderness because it allows connection to be real rather than performative. The most sustainable, meaningful relationships are those that hold both truth and tenderness in balance. They are messy, imperfect, yet profoundly alive. If you found value in this video, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every action supports this work and allows us to continue creating content that speaks directly to the heart, offering clarity, guidance, and reflection for those navigating complex emotions and relationships. Thank you for your support, for showing up, and for being willing to step into honesty, awareness, and compassion in your own life.